Hi, my name is John Green, Customer Success Manager at Eon Reality, and welcome to the XR EdTech Experience. Today I have an exciting lesson showcase that I want to share with you. I'll be highlighting some of the lessons that have been created from users from the University of the West Indies. We'll be hearing directly from lesson creators that have been a part of the initial onboarding of the Eon XR platform. The Eon XR rollout is the first of its kind in the Caribbean, which aims to impact students across a multitude of countries and territories. I had the privilege to sit down with 5 participants from our initial educator course and hear their experiences in designing lessons using the EonXR platform. We'll be hearing directly from Mr. Alimayu Bowen, Ms. Antoinette Spencer, Chantel Maharaj, Dr. Avanel Joseph Edwards, and Keisha Gaspar Chicory. Let's listen in to what they had to say.
I am Adimayu Bowen. I'm a learning support specialist at the University of the West Indies Open Campus. I am attached to the online programs delivery department. At first, eventually trading with you, so I knew what I needed to do. Um, but getting a hang of it in terms of clicking and getting the response times of it, because my PC was a bit slow, it started off a bit, like I click and then I see okay, right, this is what really happens, following the instructions that you gave us. And it was pretty good coming along. So I was able to navigate it at the points that I wanted to talk about. I found it was really, what I should say, the like for me, I'm a visual and kinesthetic learner. So for this is something that I really like. I was thinking like how best can we incorporate something like this into the online learning. So when I saw this, like okay, this is exactly what I wanted, you know. So I was really glad that we have something like this for those learners, because normally for our platforms it's more or less a lot of written text and probably some recorded text, recordings, not really this visual that this platform provides right now. When you're creating the lesson, there's an option when you add I believe the annotation, and you want to click you want to add the additional, like say the text for the memo builder. I thought, well, there's the option there that you could search for more information there, and it brings more information for you to add to or that you could use the information on the system. I'm still not sure how that works, but I was like, wow, this is cool, because for me, like building this lesson, I'm not an expert on the air, so I have to search for information to put on it. And then when I use that feature there, because normally I was searching in Google to find the information, but then when I saw the feature in this system, and I clicked on it and I typed in different parts of the, I brought up information and from that, and I was able to use that in my lesson. So I find that was really good.
All right, I'm Antoinette Spencer. I'm a production assistant within the online programming and production department of the academic programming and delivery department of the University of the West Indies Open Campus in Mona, Jamaica. My experience with in this lesson was very interesting. The platform is something that I just learned, and going through it and adding my pictures and my questions and the different activities that are there was very interesting. It was very easy to use, and I enjoyed creating the lesson. Yes, 360 Images brings to the classroom something that the students may place themselves into. They may not have the opportunity to travel based on the pandemic that is going on now. So by creating a 360 lessons, the students are able to explore different worlds, different environments, and be able to immerse themselves in a culture that they have never thought of before or they have never experienced before. It's a great experience for them. Well, with the cell phone device, technology is changing ever so often, and we're always on the move. So with the cell phone device, you can take it anywhere. You can experience the learning just as it is with the laptop. The experience is just great. The same thing that you do on the cell phone is the same thing you do on the laptop. It's just that the cell phone is more handheld, more readily available. You're on the go. You may be sitting in a bus, a car, going to school, going to work, and you're able to just immerse yourself in different cultures, different locations, and learn about them. The creation process, it was very simple. Once you have your outline, your information, it was very easy, simple to put together, to create. You can create lessons within minutes once you have the information there.
My name is Keisha Gasper Chicory. I'm a software developer at the Computer and Technical Services Division at the University of the West Indies Open Campus.
Great.
It was actually very interesting and intuitive. The assets were readily available as well as a lot of the labeling. So it was just a matter of providing, context to the material that was there. It was very easy to do certain things like add speech to text, or text to speech rather, so that we could build the lesson. It was easy to put together the quizzes that would make the lesson more engaging. So overall, I think it was an enjoyable experience building the system. I did wish there was a way to easily reorder the what was built in the lesson. So, for example, probably drag one quiz above the other, or kind of like rearrange the flow so that it could be a bit more easily engaging for the student to go from probably less complex to more complex models. But from what I saw, there wasn't a way to easily do that. You'd have to remove and then add again unless I missed something. But it was a good experience.
Great, great, excellent. And I know there's a way to, once you're in the lesson, you can click on an item and move it up or down and sort the lesson sequence within that lesson builder. But good points there. And do you envision students using these lessons? What kind of ways do you see that happening?
So absolutely, I actually used a solar system lesson for my 4-year-old. So I do see this as a good tool to use in any level of academia, as well as just in the workspace training, especially when you have a distributed environment. The open campus is a very distributed environment, even before we were hit with a pandemic. So I see a lot of potential for us using this in and outside of the classroom. And I think it can definitely be used for many different levels. My 4-year-old loved seeing the solar system lesson. She loved being able to see the planets and being able to zoom in and out and stuff. So it was a really good tool.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And the ability to see this across different devices, as you can see, we're looking at your lesson that you built on a cell phone device, and to project into AR mode and get all those experiences that you said are really engaging for the students and the learners.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Any surprises you weren't expecting as you built this lesson and went through this experience?
I would say there weren't many surprises. I think it was the usability was excellent. The user experience. I enjoyed being able to preview the lesson and go through the flow and see it from the end user perspective. I think it's really one in which you don't need a lot of training before you can make use of the tool and the technology, which I think is a good advantage to have once you deploy EON XR within your university or organization.
Okay, good morning. I'm Dr. Abner Joseph Edwards. I am a course production manager at the UWI Open Campus.
Great. Welcome, Avanel. So, Avanel, you did this lesson here, the structure of the human skin. Could you tell us your experience? What was it like to put this lesson together? What were some of the highlights?
Some of the highlights for me would be the user friendliness, I think, of the interface. I always thought, when I originally heard of augmented reality and virtual reality, I thought that you needed to have some kind of technical training or be a computer science geek in order to be able to, do something like this. But just the fact that, not having any formal training per se outside of what was done by EON Reality, that was able to construct the lesson with relative ease was a really good takeaway for me. So, if it is, I can do it, then it'll be even more simple perhaps for students to be able to build. So the user friendliness of the interface was one of the highlights for me, and relative ease with which I was able to get a knack for the software.
Yeah, great. Great point there, and how easy it is to pick it up quickly and build a lesson. I noticed here you did the 3D lesson there. What was that experience like? Be able to record your own voice and move the model at the same time.
Yeah, I like the ability to record my own voice because it helps to personalize the instruction. We also have the added benefit of the automated voice, if it is I might get tired of using my own voice.
Hmm.
But yeah, the ability to actually pull apart the model and see the layers, I think is really instructive, particularly with this type of lesson where it is students need to um, essentially know the different layers of the skin to actually see it come apart. I think brings it to life rather than it just being a static image. Being able to interact with it, I think will make it a little bit more meaningful and helps with knowledge retention as well. Being able to um, apply the more or less a kinetic um, touch to actually interact with the knowledge. So knowledge to me comes alive rather than just viewing it in a text. You're actually getting to, as I said, manipulate the object. I think it's going to really serve them in the long run in terms of building and retaining that knowledge.
Great feedback, and I can see there the ability to delayer, deconstruct there, and put things, take it apart, put it back together, and then even see it in AR mode. And as we're seeing right now through a cell phone device, the ease of use, how you
Right.
can connect, and students can use their cell phone to project the object in front of them, and just get that experience as we're seeing now.
Mhm.
Great. And how do you envision students connecting with this technology? Any thoughts there?
Well, I know we have and you would have initially some drawbacks in terms of the kinds of systems students would use in terms of the ability to be able to create. So in the first instance, I see them um, interacting with the model that would have been instructor generated, but the intention long term is for them to explore, applying what we call, discovery learning, where it is they can use their own imagination and creativity and discover new scientific facts by actually building their models, their objects on their own. So that is so in terms of them being more active in their learning is where I would like to see them go. Um, but as I mentioned, we may have one or two limitations up front in terms of the their computer requirements, which might limit them in the first instance. But I'm hoping that given how user friendly it is and so on, that with time that they'll be able to um, be active in terms of constructing their own knowledge, so that rather than it being the teacher being the one to disseminate or create with that resource of content, that they be able to do that own construction on their for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Good points there, and students taking control, and I think getting into areas of what we call self-directed learning, where
Correct.
students, in an essence, become their own teachers and guide themselves through these steps and take active control, and use this as a form of evaluation, where students create their own lessons and submit that back to their instructors, their educators, and putting the knowledge into their own words. So that's what's really exciting about this for learners. Well, Vanel, appreciate your feedback here. Really helpful for us, and glad you were able to put this lesson together and have a really positive experience using the Eon platform. Well,
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
great. Thank you for your time. Thanks.
Okay, so thank you again for having me, John. My name is Chantal Maharaj. I am a user support technical assistant with the University of the West Indies Open Campus.
Great. Thank you. And Chantal, I'm going to show your lesson that you created here on the great white shark. Could you give us some feedback on your experience in putting this lesson together?
It was definitely an enjoyable experience. With this app that Eon Reality created, it's definitely very, very easy to use. The learning curve is very short. I didn't even need to have any experience with code to be able to start building out this lesson. So it was definitely very user friendly, I must say.
Nice, nice. And what was your favorite feature when putting this lesson together?
Definitely for me, I'm a little shy when it comes to speaking.
Uh-huh.
So the translation of the text to audio and being able to choose which voice I wanted, that was definitely my favorite feature with the app.
Great. Yeah, that's a really nice feature. You can type out the message, and
Hmm.
even if you type it out in different languages, you have the audio feature where you can select the voice in different voice types.
Exactly.
Uh,
So it was definitely nice to play around with that, to
yeah.
choose which voice was suitable.
And here we're looking at the shark in AR mode and coming right at you on the screen and through a
Uh,
cell phone. And what do you think about this augmented reality feature of the
it
Eon
makes you
platform?
feel like you're in the water with them. It's definitely awesome to see. It's like you don't actually have to get in the water to be around the shark and get intimate with it. So it's definitely exciting to see it in this way.
Yep, yeah, for sure. It comes right at you and getting the kinesthetic, the experience, and what we say the psychology of presence involved in
Yes.
lessons and maintaining that engagement throughout the lessons. Um, and also the ability to check in on the student's knowledge. You can see out of some quizzes and in different activities on that shark lesson.
Yes, definitely.
Any other surprises that as you were building this lesson together that you didn't expect as you came in and built this lesson?
I mean, I wouldn't say surprises, but I definitely would like to give my perspective on. I mean, if I had fun building this lesson, I'm pretty sure that the students would have fun interacting with it. It's not just okay, a 2D image that you're reading from a textbook. You can actually move it around. You can see underneath. You can see inside its mouth, and it's definitely something for them to get excited about. And even as far as go home and show their parents or their siblings, hey, this is what we learned today. And it kind of reverses. It's like train the trainer in a sense.
Mm,
They can go home and they could regurgitate everything that they learned about it, and in that way commit it to memory even faster. So it's
absolutely.
definitely exciting.
And what you mentioned there, we get into areas of collaborative learning where
Yes.
students are sharing their content and involving family, peers,
Hmm.
educators in the whole learning experience by being able to
Exactly.
create lessons and share those experiences. That's a powerful tool in education.
It definitely is. It's different, much, much, much different from the traditional classroom method, or even the Zoom rooms or the Google Classrooms. It's much more interactive, as you said.
Yep, yep, really engaging. And one of the features there, we mentioned about collaborative learning, there's XR meetings, so someone will be able to invite multiple learners
Yes.
into one meeting session by sharing a code
Yes.
and present and speak about different topics of this lesson.
Yes. So it's definitely, like you said, interactive with the meetings. It makes it simple because you have all these features on one platform. So you don't have to come out of the app to go into, say, Zoom or another application. So it's very concise. I really do like it. And I really see it's like the catalyst, especially for in our country and in our region in the Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
This this is like the first of its kind for students and for teachers. So it's definitely an exciting endeavor.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your feedback. You gave some really good, great points there that you made in terms of lesson building experience and how you see this fitting into the education model and is making it very collaborative and again, tapping into those powerful concepts of learning with their peers, sharing content, and going through that the self-directed learning, as we call it. But great points that you made, Chantel. But I appreciate your feedback and your time.
You're
And
most
thanks again
welcome.
for putting this lesson together and sharing your thoughts.
No problem. Thank you for creating this app. And I must say, you could probably see it on my face. I was definitely very, very excited that I could actually bring this, something that I am passionate about, to almost to life in a lesson. So if you need any other feedback, any assistance with anything, feel free to reach out and I'll definitely be excited to jump on board.
Great. Thank you.